of anti-black hatred,
of anti-black hatred,
of anti-brown hatred,
of anti-brown hatred,
of anti-
no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA, no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA, no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
that people who look like they might be immigrant.
I have never protested before. I'm going on 60 years old, and I'm so disappointed, disheartening, unhappy, disgusted with what's happening with our country right now. We did not vote for a fascist regime. Who the hell is Elon Musk taking over our country? We don't know.
Politics are unpredictable. The slogan was "Make America Again" under Donald Trump. But later again, what happened? Take a look here.
Political liar. It's from SpongeBob. Trump has got to go. Good question, though. Donald Trump has got to go. Donald Trump has got to go.
The citizens of United States. These are not just, we have the people who are living in USA illegally. And those are the ones who are deported back to their countries. But who are these people who remained? What about these people who remained in the land of US? And they are still going under hardship under the regime of Donald Trump. So that's why we say it depends. It's not all we wish that the wish granted to us. So the people were so happy about the coming back of Donald Trump because they experienced. And today, these people who we are watching, the citizens demonstrating, complaining about the regime and the governance of Donald Trump, and yet they are white people or black Americans who have the authorities to live in US. Donald Trump, this is not his first time to govern this country. He was there before. Then they sent away themselves, and again they voted him back. So they know who they are voting for. So I don't know what has changed. But one thing that I know, it's not all we wish bring us the positive results. Under this regime, there are millions of people who lost their job. There are millions of people who are jobless because they were depending in some organizations like UN, people who are complaining over LGBT. So there are many facts, different facts that are making people to complain, people to undergo some hard conditions under this regime. But what is more important is that, after all, we have people who have lost their jobs. We have people who have maybe lost their citizenship. There are many who have deported from US to go back to their countries. But after all, what he's doing, Donald Trump, he's not doing something against the law. He is doing something that focusing on the law of the country, because he has focused and based on the people who are living illegally or people who are not supposed to live in his country. And now he's based on the people who are supposed to be in his country, the people who are paying the taxes in his country. And that's why more people are giving more blames. When you put aside US, there are some African countries who are very happy and who give a warm welcome at the victory of Donald Trump being elected again as the US president. So just take a look at what's happening in the streets. People are outside the White House protesting. If you take a look, these are not black people, they are white people. So I don't know what the problem might be. What might be the problem? Because when you do the findings, the organizations like USAID or USAID, they were not being operated by the black people alone, or they were not being operated in African countries alone. The USAID was even operating in white countries, in America, and there were a lot of people, the white people, who were working under these organizations. There were many thousands of white people who are employed under this umbrella of USAID. And once it was cut off, then it means that everyone who was working under this organization had to lose his job or her job. So that's the main problem, because even in US there are people who are depending on this organization for some services, some health services, some food, some dependence for them for their lives to move on. So I think this is the problem. But so far, Donald Trump has not gone against the Constitution. What he has did, he was just right, because when you find you go deep in the history, you find that what he has did mostly based in the African countries. They discovered, it's just because they discovered that the money who were distributing here in African countries, so that it can help some people who are in need of this money, they were not able to receive, or it was not able to reach them, but it was just being cut off in some few rich people. And that's why they decided it's better they cut off to few rich people than to let it split to some individual accounts instead of going where it was supposed to. So I put a difference between Donald Trump, US, and African countries like Kenya, Uganda, Burkina Faso. In African countries, the Burkina Faso is the only place that we have seen people, like every day they are just celebrating for the leader they have. This is the only country in Africa the people are happy and are satisfied by the leader they are having in their country. Since Ibrahim Traore took over or came into the power, every day in his country people are just celebrating. Even if you see people in the streets, they are not celebrating, they are not there to protest, but they are just there to celebrate the glory of their leader. Because every day this guy is coming up with a new mechanism. He is coming up every day with the new ideas on how he can shape his country, on how he can change the economy of his country, on how he can make the life of his citizens better and softly. I don't know, maybe because he's not a politician, he is a leader, because he was the leader of the army of the country. Now, as he shifted from the leader of a certain unit, or a leader to the army, and shifted to be the leader of the country as the head of state, it might be the reason. But what Burkina Faso with Ibrahim Traore is being celebrated in any country in Africa. If you ever seen during the inauguration ceremony of Ghana's president, Mr. Mahama, Ibrahim Traore was the only leader who was celebrated, highly chartered, highly welcomed when he was invited to come and appreciate the victory of Ghanaian president. You may think that he was the leader that he was going to be sworn in. Everyone, he captured the attention of every attendant to the ceremony. He captured the attention of every leader and every citizen who was around, and even who were not around. Everyone was happy once the name of Ibrahim Traore was mentioned. What does this mean? Everyone is praying, wishing that this guy or Ibrahim Traore could be the leader of his nation. We are praying that we can unite, we can come to the point where we can unite Africa at large as the United Nations countries, and have Ibrahim Traore as the African president. Not because we love him so much, but we love the action, his deeds. We love what he's doing. The promises that were made by Donald Trump, he is doing it. He is forcibly doing according to what he said. And he is doing the right thing he was promised that he will do once he takes the authority. Let's cross by to the country of Kenya. During the campaigning time, what we were told was very good. We was the hope, with the words of hope. The youths were promised to get employed. The women were promised to
people of every part of Kenya. It is unfortunate that we cannot go to Nyanza, we cannot go to Kisumu, we cannot go to Siaya, we cannot go to Homa Bay, we cannot go to Migori, because our good friend who pretends to be a Democrat cannot allow anybody to go to his backyard, because he arranges violence, he arranges chaos. We have tried to go there. Even me as deputy president, I cannot go to Nyanza because they stoned my vehicles. But for us to show the folly and the foolishness of violence, we welcome Kitendawili here anytime he comes, so that he can carry the shame of him not allowing other Kenyans to go to Nyanza province. Tuko pamoja? Tunaelewana jameni? Tumekubaliana?
Raised to be guaranteed by the government to increase their loan in their businesses, to have chances to access loan at any chance, so that they can improve their business, they can improve their lives. The citizens were promised to have a fully freedom. But now, after the election, things changed. Everything gone upside down. That's now when we started experiencing mass destruction of properties, demolitions, abductions, and more and more and more. Until today, at this moment, every citizen is tired of the government we are having. Everyone is tired of the president or the leader they are having as. What do this mean? How and when do the politics of the world will come to a point where it will be a normal thing? It will be something that we have during the campaigning time, people will have to campaign. And after that, the life will continue going on even after election, and people will forget about the politics and now expect the deliveries, what they were promised. At what time the African countries will come to experience the politics, the real and pure politics? Because now, since the African countries get their independence, it's a long time. It's a long time, whereby now the countries of Africa should be matured enough in politics, and the leaders should be now at least know their roles once they get into the offices. Take an example for the country like Uganda. The president now, the current president, Yoweri Museveni, is now detaining his opposition leader, and no one has something to do with that. The citizens has nothing to do with it. They are completely quiet while their fighter is there suffering health condition, bad health condition. No one is there to do anything because they fear their dictative president. The time of dictatorship came to an end. What we have today to do is we have to vote for the leaders and expect more and more from them. We expect care, we expect the deliveries, we expect everything from them. Because once we put them in the offices, we expect for them to be our defender. That is what is called politics. It is called the dirty game. You don't have to trust any politician, because a politician don't cares. A politician has no friends. A politician will be your friend when he is looking for that chance. When he's campaigning, you will be friends. But when he is voted in and become the politician, then your relationship will have to cut off for him to do his and achieve his targets. What's funny enough is that they know where the problem is, and they know very well how they can solve and how they can fix the problems. But now, the secrets that a lot of us don't know is that, a politician is happy when he see his citizens are going through some hardship, they are suffering, and that's when they will have the chance to come again and convince you, lie to you, so that if you give me, I will do this, I'll fix this, I'll do this. That's the only time they know they can take your attention, they can convince you. But if they can make everything soft to you, then they know very well that there is nothing they can come and convince you. That's why even if in campaigning time, you will not find a politician going to campaign in an estate, in big estates, and there are people who are wealthy, people who are rich. You will not see a politician going to campaign in an estate. They will only go to campaign in a low areas. Why? Because that's when they find people who they can give them something small like 200, 300, 500. They buy your freedom. They buy your dignity. They give you something small to convince you so that you can vote for them. And that's the only time they will achieve their targets, by buying your identities. So what we are having today, there's nothing new in African politics. There is nothing new in politics. What is happening is something that was started before, and is something that will continue happening forever. We will not expect that things will change soon if we, as citizens, will not wake up. Because there's nothing new that a politician will come to tell you so that you have to believe. You have to choose the leader according to his visions, the leader that you feel and you see that this guy is a leader. But you are not supposed to be convinced for you to give someone or to put someone in an office and later you come to regret, you start crying. This will not help. We have to join hands. We have to get leaders like Ibrahim Traore, the leaders who have the visions of the people, who knows what the people want, who knows that the office that they are holding is not for them. They are holding the offices to the citizens. They are holding the offices to deliver to the citizens. They are there because there are some people who send them there to hold that offices. The power they're having today, they get because of some people who are behind, waiting for them to deliver. That's the only time. If we come to that point to understand what we have to do, then that's the only time we will enjoy anything from politics, and that's the only time we'll enjoy our democracy. Because there is no democracy if we cannot be wise enough to know how to choose the leader. At what we as African countries don't have to complain so much about the action that were taken by Donald Trump. Let the white people complain because they voted for him. The people who are going for demonstration in these cities, New York City and whatever, in US, they have the right because they choose Donald Trump. They voted for him. But we as African countries, we don't have to. We have to accept to whatever he did, because he did what he feels like it's good for him. We have to wake up and do our own. I know we depend on each other. We need each other. They need us, we need them. But even if they cut off whatever they are doing or they are helping, we don't have to complain that much, because it's not a must we get from them. It is not a must. It's by willing. If they decide to give us, then it's okay. If they say it's enough, it is okay. Don't forget to subscribe to Kenyan Explorer. Here we are. Here is the place we talk. Give your opinions to a comment section. Commentary is highly appreciated, and